And welcome to the Aaron Katzman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katzman. We speak about your life, your money, and your investments. And as always, we're coming to you from the spiritual and soon-to-be financial capital of the world, Jerusalem, Israel. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. And if you've not yet done so, I don't know why you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. So, I want to vent, okay? I've been listening to some podcasts, watching some shows, hearing from clients. We don't have enough money. Things are hard. Inflation. Things cost so much. What should we do? Well, there's one answer, and it's a four-letter word. You know what the four-letter word is? Work, okay? Work. Stop complaining. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and start to work. If it means taking on another job, so take another job if you can't make ends meet, okay? Work. Stop complaining. Complaining gets you nowhere. That's number one. Number two, I came across an article on CNBC that 53% of Americans surveyed feel they are behind on retirement planning and savings. You know what the answer to that is? Another four-letter word: save. How about saving for retirement? Okay? It bothers me that everybody's just whining and complaining and nothing's good enough. Just why not you try and fix the problem yourself, okay? So according to CNBC, a large share of Americans worry about their nest eggs. CNBC's International Your Money Financial Security Survey polled about 500 people in each of 9 countries. 498 people surveyed in the US. More than half said they're behind schedule in retirement planning and savings. I wonder why. Interesting, okay? I think most Americans do struggle to save enough for retirement, said David Blanchett, a CFP and head of retirement research for PGIM, a money manager. For many families, this is what gets me. For many families, money held in individual retirement accounts and 401k type plans are key determinant of future retirement security, according to the U.S. Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances. But just 54% of Americans had a retirement account as of 2022. The typical balance, I skipped, was $87,000. The picture isn't much different for those who are on the precipice of retirement. To that point, the typical 55 to 65-year-old had just saved $71,000 in a 401k type plan as of 2022, according to Vanguard. Most Americans are going to need to save for retirement, Blanchett said. Yes, you can live off Social Security. That's probably not going to replace your pre-retirement standard of living. No kidding, right? And then here we go. Ample competing financial priorities can make it challenging to save for old age. Sometimes, especially for lower earners, there's a choice between survival today and ensuring for a good standard of living in the future, Blanchett said. In 2022, households in the bottom 25% by wealth had $3,500 median net worth, whereas the top 10% had $3.8 million. That's what it comes to. So the median income, because they're sort of, and who knows what that means even, the 25% bottom, who all have cable TV, drive spanking new cars, okay, have beautiful 72-inch televisions, all have iPhones. They only have $3,500 in median net worth. First of all, that's bogus. That's so not true, unless they're completely up the wazoo in debt, which is also a possibility because they all have car payments and what have you. But the point is, it doesn't have to be, and you know where that article is going, right? That because not all employers give retirement plans, there should be some kind of either an employer mandate to give retirement plans, or the government will step in, right? Because they're so effective and they've done a bang up job with Social Security, which is on the brink of insolvency. What's the answer for the lower net worth people also? Start living responsibly. Okay, you have to think about, it's not about whether you're living for today and putting food on the table today. Come on, what percentage of the people is that really actually relating to? I don't want to make fun of people. I'm not putting anybody down, but we're talking probably about, 3 or 4%, right? The majority of people have enough money, right? They can make ends meet if they wanted to make ends meet. Sure, they're not making millions of dollars a year, but that's life, okay? So just because you're making less doesn't mean you don't have to be responsible with your money. Doesn't mean that if you can't make ends meet, that you can't get another job, right? You can't do Instacart, deliver groceries, deliver pizzas, whatever, right? Number one. Number two, doesn't mean you can't put a little bit of money away from retirement, right? It should be a priority. if people actually focused on that instead of buying the latest gadget, if they thought a little bit, maybe 2 steps ahead, instead of tomorrow, but they thought about maybe a week from now, they started saving for retirement. It's not that complicated. And for those who think it is complicated, so you know what? You have utilities coming out every month. You got to pay food, you're paying mortgage or rent. Have another line item in your budget, which is the cause of the problem. You don't have a budget. You should have another line item. Say, pay yourself first, right? Put money into savings, put money into retirement. It's not so complicated. It really isn't so complicated. I think I saw the other day, the average income in the United States, or the average family income, is like $78,000. Okay. There's room in there, even after taxes, right, to save money. Okay, you can do it. Again, you're making $78,000 living in New York City or Manhattan or in LA, so maybe that's gonna be a problem. But then change your lifestyle, move, make things affordable, right? You are a result of the choices you end up making. So you can't complain at the end of the day that I don't have enough money, blah, 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 right? You put yourself in the situation and you can afford change, right? If you don't have a big enough salary and you're working around the clock, so leave Manhattan, move to Peoria, right? Move to somewhere where it's cheaper, where the cost of living is less, right? There are plenty of things that you can do to get yourself on solid financial footing. I'm not going to go through the whole set up the emergency fund, get out of debt, you got a budget. I don't want to go through all that. I want to make it a little more fundamental. You are the solution to your own financial problem, whether it's saving for retirement or making ends meet. In 95% of the cases, I know there are always extraordinary cases. Don't start saying, well, Katzman, what about the case of blah, blah, blah? Okay, there are exceptional cases. I'm talking to mainstream folk. And mainstream folk who don't have crazy issues, weren't dealt a bad hand, okay, can change, right? You can just look in the mirror and you'll solve your own problem, right? I'm looking in the mirror right now. I'm looking at the screen right now. I don't like my beard. I will, because I'm not going to complain about it, because you know what I can do? I can just shave it off. Okay, it's not so complicated. The same thing. There's so many like side jobs, side hustles that one can get if they're not making ends meet. There's so many things out there that you can do for a couple of extra hours a day. And you're not signing up your life to, it's not a life of working 12, 15 hours a day. It's for whatever time period you need to get yourself on solid financial footing. Not so complicated. And stop whining about not having enough money to save for long-term savings and for retirement, because you can do it. There's no reason. Just cut back on something. And then you can, voila, start saving money, okay? You are the answer to your own financial problems, okay? Whew. Good, that got off my chest. Thank you very much for thanks for following me, okay? You've been tuning into the Aaron Katzman Show, where we speak about your life, your money, and your investments. If you liked this, please hit the like button below. If you didn't like it, you'll probably send me an email. That's my guess, okay? Don't forget to sign up and subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll speak to you soon.